more tentacles. We will take 3 off Jace for the clock. You can pay for it here. Play our clock. That's a land we can utilize right out of the gate, which is really nice, and you know, let's just land in as well. No attacks. I think this is a good game. And turn. Clock will help us draw as things continue to go in length here. I'm feeling fairly confident. Hey everybody, welcome back, and thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch Hello Good Game. Today, we're playing Mono Blue that went 4-0 in day 1 of the Arena Open by Ash Graver. I can confirm this deck has a 100% win rate for me, climbing back into Mythic with the start of the season, and this is a fun, original deck that we've not seen yet in Zendikar Rising. So something a little bit different today. We're going to break right into the deck tech and gameplay footage at the same time. See if you like it. Let me know in the comments below if this is a good format for our videos, or if you didn't like it, I should go back to splitting them up. With that being said, if you do find any value within the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the channel out to a friend, and of course hit that bell icon so you're notified of all of our future uploads. You can also support financially on Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube. Even further on our Amazon link. Make sure to do your Christmas shopping there. With that all being said, starting out with today's gameplay footage and our deck list all at one. We have 2 copies of Opt, Instant Speed, Scry 1, Draw a Card for 1. You know, this just gets the game started. It can fill blank voids within unused mana on your opponent's end step. And most of our casting that we want to do within the deck will be on our opponent's end step, or at least within their turn to interrupt them. 2 copies of the Mazemind Tome. This is our first 2-drop an artifact in which we can tap it to put a counter on it, resulting in a Scry 1. We can also pay 2 tap it to draw a card, putting a counter on it. When there are 4 more counters on the tome, we'll sacrifice it and gain 4 life. 4 copies of Jwari Disruption and Jwari Ruins. The land comes in tapped, adds a blue to our pool. Disruption is instant speed and counters target spell unless its controller pays 1. 2 copies of Fae of Wishes, a 1/4 with flying in which we can pay 2, discarding 2 cards from our hand at instant speed to return it to our hand. This is great if there's any targeted removal on it, or non-targeted removal for that sake. The targeted removal we can make fizzle, and then the non-targeted we can just dodge by bouncing it to our hand. The discarding of cards isn't always friendly, but it does allow for the recasting of the sorcery adventure called Granted for 4, revealing a card, non-creature card from our sideboard, putting it into our hand, and that's just a really easy way to deal with a wide variety of decks very efficiently. And then it's basically a draw as well of a specific card that you can use in the utility aspect, right? Anyways, moving on, we do have Essence Scattered. This is instant speed, countering target creature spell times 4. Into our 3 drops, 4 copies of Midnight Clock, an artifact in which we can tap to add 1 blue to our pool. The nice thing about artifacts is they don't have summoning sickness when they come in, so you can, the creatures do still, but the Midnight Clock, since it's just an artifact, not a creature, you can tap it for that 1 blue mana immediately, which is really nice. And then we can also pay 3, and that includes the mana that we could tap it for, right? So you can pay this ability without tapping it at instant speed on your opponent's end step to drain your mana. To put a counter on Midnight Clock, you also put a counter on Midnight Clock at the beginning of each upkeep, both yours and your opponent's. And then when there are 12 counters on it, you will shuffle your graveyard and your hand into your library and then draw 7 cards, exiling Midnight Clock. So this is great to get in play because it helps you ramp a little bit. It does also put you on that mid-range to late game control style timer where your opponent should be running out of cards, and boom, you just reset to 7. Let's go play some more Magic, right? So Midnight Clock fits great in the deck. 2 copies of Mystical Dispute, instant speed. This spell costs 2 less to cast if it targets a blue spell. So, really only hunting other blue cards with this, and counter target spell unless its controller pays 3. You can still use it otherwise, but it's going to be very rare that it works out in your favor, at least value-wise. Brazen Borrower. This is a 3-drop, a 3/1 with flash and fly. Can only block other creatures with flying. Has Petty Theft for 2 at instant speed as the adventure, which is my favorite. Return target non-land permanent and opponent controls to its owner's hand. You just get to bounce anything that they're doing before their attack phase, on their attack phase, whatever happens to be. Moving forward, we have 2 copies of Jace Mirror Mage, a legendary planeswalker coming in as 4 loyalty, +1, scry 2, 0, draw a card, reveal it, remove that number of loyalty counters equal to that card's converted mana cost from Jace. So you want to make sure that you're balancing him and not killing him. Most of our drops within the deck are, 3, so if you keep it 4 or 5, it should survive unless you do pull your Thryx or your Seagate, something like this, Shark Typhoon. In that case, it's going to just kamikaze and kill your Jace, but it's going to be hard to get it up to 7 and 8, and then that's really late game. So what you can do to avoid this is kick it for an additional 2, so you would pay 5, and then you'll get 2 copies of Jace, which is really cool. The first is a 4/4, and the second copy enters with 1 loyalty, so you can scry or plus on the second, and then minus on the one with 4, which is really nice. To ensure that you're not pulling one of those big cards that we talked about, right? You can engineer the draw with the 0 ability, which is cool. Moving forward, we have 4 copies of Neutralize, instant speed, counter target spell. That's great. If we don't have to counter spells, we can cycle it for 2. Maybe we're bricked on land and we need to find that first. 2 copies of Gadwick, the Wizened, 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, draw X cards. Whenever you cast a blue spell, tap target non-land permanent and opponent controls. This is great because a lot of our interaction in the deck is at instant speed. So we can, before our opponent's attack phase, tap their creatures on their turn. Now they can't attack us, right? And our lanes are also open to attack with, which is really cool. So a lot of our deck has flyers in it. So we could, if they have creatures with flying, creatures with reach, we could shut those defenders down and proceed to deal our tempo style damage, or just stop their big attackers from dealing damage to us and push the game in to the later turns. It's a control style deck, so the longer the game goes, the more advantage you will inherently have. And Gadwick is a 3+X, so you can draw as many cards as you want, -3, which is pretty cool. So it's a decent early game drop, just for the fact that you can start tapping your opponent's creatures with all your mid game interaction, and then it's a good late game drop just to refill your hand. Into our we don't have any 4 drops. We've got a single 5 drop within Thryx, the Sunstorm, a 4/5 with flash and flying. Flash is the key component here, so when we're not spending our mana to counter our opponent's spells, we can just sneak this in on their end step. This spell, spells you cast with converted mana cost 5 or greater cost 1 less to cast and can't be countered. Can't be countered is absolutely amazing. And then 5 or greater, 1 less to cast. That's semi-decent. Typically, you don't want to have a deck filled with 5 CMC plus cards, but we do have a couple cool ones here. We have Seagate Restoration for 7. Draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand +1. Then you have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. It also comes in tapped as the Gate Reborn, unless we pay 3 life, known as the Bolt land. We also have a single copy of Sublime Epiphany, instant speed for 6. So, reducing this would be really nice. Down to 5, choose 1 or more, much like Casualties of War used to be. Counter target spell, counter target activated or triggered ability, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, create a token that's a copy of a target creature you control, target player draws a card. So there's a long list of things that we can utilize. And if you get all of those popped off for 6, and better yet 5, that is so much value. And speaking of so much value, Shark Typhoon for 6, an enchantment. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying, where X is that spell's converted mana cost, cycling for 2+X. And when you cycle Shark Typhoon, create an XX blue shark creature token with flying. Having the enchantment in play is absolutely busted, but there's a lot of easy ways to remove it, to bounce it, and it's quite expensive. So take note of that before you play it. Where this card really shines is cycling it, right? We throw it to the graveyard, I believe, and we pull a card from the top of our library, which is so good considering the shark cannot be countered, cycling cannot be countered, and then the shark can be a flash blocker to interrupt a battle phase, which is really nice on your opponent's behalf. So we do also have 18 islands and 3 Castle Vantresses in which we could pay 5, scry 2. Not so bad. Moving forward to our sideboard, we've got 3 Soul Guide Lanterns. Any graveyard disruption, this is your card. When it enters the battlefield, exile target card from a graveyard, tap it to exile each opponent's graveyard, and then pay 1 and tap it to draw a card. Those each result in a sacrifice of it as well. So, if there's any escape, Soul Guide Lantern is going to lead you home. 2 copies of Frogify, enchant creature. Enchanted creature loses all abilities. Is a blue frog with creature, blue frog creature with mana and power and toughness, of 1/1. I feel like I've got a frog in my throat. 2 copies of Negate for 2 instant speed, counter target non-creature spell, 1 Mystical Dispute. We already have those main board. 4 copies of the Nadir Kraken. Now this is a sleeper. 2/3, and whenever you draw a card, you may pay 1 if you do put a +1/+1 counter on the Kraken and create a 1/1 blue tentacle. You know, it's prone to removal, but we've got counter magic to protect it, and this is going to really clog up that field state without us having to play a lot of creatures, right? Then we can hold our mana for counter magic, disruption, and just let the Kraken kind of grow on its own every turn. A single copy of Charix, the Raging Isle, a 0/17. This is the world's greatest defender. Spells your opponent casts that target it, costs 2 more to cast, and we can pay 3 to give it +X, -X until end of turn, where X is the number of islands you control. It's not uncommon within this deck to get up to 7, 8, 9 islands, so you know this can become quite a formidable attacker as well. We have 1 copy of Kyora Bests, the Sea God, for 7, an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you create an 8/8 blue Kraken with hexproof, which is amazing, and then on the following turn, tap all non-land permanents target opponent controls. They don't untap during their controller's next untap step. So, you know, that basically allows our Kraken to go in home and smash for 8 uncontended. And then, of course, finally gain control of target permanent and opponent controls, untap it. That's busted as well. And speaking of busted as well, Ugin the Spirit Dragon, 7 loyalty, +2, 3 damage to target, -X, exile each permanent with converted mana cost X or less, that's, you know, colored, obviously. And -10, you gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, then put 7 permanents from your hand into the battlefield. Woof! Right, so that's the deck list. The deck list. My god. Thanks for your time and attention, guys. Make sure to enjoy the rest of the gameplay footage. If you do have any questions, leave them down below. And not only myself, but the community will help you guide you through it. We do have the Discord that you need to get into for the 500,000 gem giveaway. We're playing today using Magic the Gathering Arena Assistant. Check that out within the Overwolf link in the description below. That's a free download. Deck stats, write-ups, videos, metagame analysis, and overview, deck break. It's everything that you want and more available for free in the Overwolf link. Check it out. Thanks for your time and attention. Again, don't forget to watch to the end because we have some amazing gameplay footage for you guys today and some really cool news to wrap the day up. So thanks again. Take care and enjoy. When we look at the hand, there's no lands. I mean, slow land, but I think we can do better than that. Keeping 6, tossing the land. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. Could be worse, that's for sure. Mono blue is something that I don't think I personally have played with competitively in a very long time. Like, mono blue tempo was the last thing I remember, right? That was a while ago. So, we are waiting on our opponent's Fable Passage. Let's just do a little highlight for them to remind them. They don't do it, they just skip right past it. Didn't we just... we got a new emote and I don't see it here. It was, grab a leg. So they'll scry 1 and then break that passage on our end step, I imagine. Don't know if that's scry. This disruption could be pretty cool, right? Another tome, I do not mind. That makes things super consistent for us a little later on. Let's just hold up control here. I think that's our best bet. Who doesn't play a 3-drop from an opening hand, right? We do see Rakdos colors so far. Oh, maybe they won't because there's another passage. Comes in tapped. Oh, okay, just a Kroxa. Let's hit it with the creature. We can make the disruption useful elsewhere. We could have also had it be useful there because they can't pay 1 because the land comes in tapped, which is rare, but I don't think it's bad. Let's pass. Let's try to play more of a control variant. A Brazen Borrower would be cool, so if we didn't have to counter, we could still play some form of flash. Really? Yeah, we could cycle. I don't know if that's really worth countering. Yeah, let's just keep the field clean, I guess. It's not something you would ever really want to counter, normally. Coming in tapped here. We'll play our Jace. We can take the +2.
We need to protect as many people as possible. I have a lot to.
I like that Borrower. The land can stay still. Let's toss it for now. We'll pull more land. I'm thinking land for Gadwick, but I think that's maybe greedy. Can Jace survive removal here? Oh, Tamaret self-mills, which is really good for Kroxa. Okay. Let's see what we get. Nothing too great. We can counter Kroxa, which is not the worst, right? So we do need to keep 2 mana up. Get a Tome in play, and then we're holding up our Scatter and Borrower. That's some cat cries there. Village Rites. It's good. We should have bounced their creature before they had a chance to sack it. But I don't think there's a target on that. I think that just goes like automatically. Here's the mill. They make a zombie. And I'm sure Kroxa is going to try to re-enter. Highlight our Tome. They can see our Scatter actually, so they know this. We can resolve this. Our turn, let's bounce the zombie. That way they don't get a scry. They could Village Rites it, send our Borrower directly to the grave. That would be the ideal play. They get to draw off it too. They Bone Crush it themselves just to fizzle us. Nice. That's a good play. Take our scry. Another Borrower. We still got access to our Borrower. Shouldn't have that fizzled because they Bone Crushed it. That's confusing. This almost guaranteed dies. Let's take the scry too.
What a refreshing thought.
I like Midnight Clock. I also really like Neutralize. The trick is going to be how do we sneak Midnight Clock in, right? We need more land. Oh, Mirror Triton's a zombie? You dog. So they still get to scry 1, gain 1 life. We need to just grind through their hand is the thing here, right? They've got plenty in their grave. Let's bounce the Trident. Keeps Jace alive. Counter the Croxa. And they're going to be replayed next turn, so this Neutralize needs to come into our hand immediately. And now this Trident sneaks in, and that makes things really gross for us. I think we scry even though we're leaving it there just to get closer to the 4 for the life gain. Woe Striders as well, you dog. So we need Graveyard Hate. We already know all of this. Go to 3 so we survive the next turn.
See how all this connects now.
But we don't have to land for this is the thing. Toss them both. We pass our turn here again. We need these cards to eat through their grave. We have 15, which is disgusting. We've been stuck on land for a while as well. Just really hurting us. We want to get these borrowers out, start attacking. They probably just play a giant. I want to take a scry right now, see what's there, if we can deal with it next turn or not. Vantress is good. That lets us go to 5. Yeah, Bone Crusher can hit. Jace down to 1.
I'm not built for fighting.
Borrower in play, our turn. Vantress. We're gonna die. So let's... Well, we don't need the draw.
Where's the next puzzle?
Clock is a form of mana, but it costs 3. And we can use Gadwick as a draw engine. Sitting at 5. And we definitely need to shut down that for 3. Gives us access to an 2 for the turn. Let's spend it on our tome. Hit for 3, down to 22. That Trident gained them quite a bit of life. What else did? Something must have. 25 is an odd number. Trident gives even. Oh, we probably did a damage or something at one point. Even though I don't think we did. No. Strange. Oh, they paid life for a land or something. No? Weird. I have no idea. Alright, we get the first escape play out of the way. They have to exile from their grave first, which is great. Using all of their mana down to 9, and now, because this island's left on top, we're screwed. So we need to scry that out of the way for a land. Oh, that's nice. We just need to counterspell. We should have recognized that maybe last turn. Being greedy with the land, it can go. Even the field state's messed up though. Ooh! Why are you doing this to us? I wonder if they have a sack effect for it. They have too much mana. The disruption won't counter anything. Jace is gone. And we get hit for 7. A lot of value. We should be okay if we can hate on their graveyard.
Failure was an unexpected variable.
Lantern, we have 3 copies of for their graveyard. Pull up a scatter as well, which is really, really nice. Cancel this actually. Yeah. Loosh. So I'm assuming that another Kroxa will enter. We're lucky with that. Scatter off the top. That's why the tomes are so nice. You can just kind of rifle through your deck to find what you need. I think they're down to 4 cards now. 6. A bunch of them are the escape cards though, so if they do exile those, then they're gone, right? That's good. Nice. You can block Rankle with the Borrower at least. They seen that. Take our scry. We're so screwed. Take our scry first. Too little too late here. I don't know. We can trade with the beast, or we should just take it. It's all bad. We push through enough, but the recursion of those titans and stuff is really good because, like, they get to cast it multiple times, and we're not casting multiple counter spells. Yikes. Good game. We gained 4 life, but let's just do this the appropriate way. Right, just put up the defender. They do have removal though. The disputes we don't need. I struggled with Gadwick there as well. Drop our flyer, take the crab, just to defend Croxas if we need. And we can deal with the death touch with the Krakens. Right? We can drop the Fae. We can drop these Gadwicks. Those are awkward for me. And the Epiphany can go. Let's just get these borrowers in the air, right? Deal that damage. Deal with their graveyard with our lantern. We should be okay. I just had a pro thought. I'm gonna switch my camera. It's in like landscape mode. I'm gonna put it in portrait mode. It'll turn my body sideways, but then I can flip that aspect of it, I believe. Right? So my camera is like elongated. Maybe there's actually just a setting for that. We'll see. Anyways, we're playing first. There's no land here. We get our lantern. Oh man, that's nice. I think we toss an opt. Alright, island in. We'll opt for them. They're going slow. We can speed it up a little bit. Let's take the land. I'd rather have it than not, and not need it, than need it and not have it. We have a disruption available here. Into a Jace. Croxa is online for them. Can't believe it only costs 2. So good. Thank you. Lantern can stay for now. Let's
Minds are fragile. Hold them delicately.
oof. Go up to 5. They have that one spell that deals 4. I like the Kraken. I like the Borrower. Let's keep it. Nice. So that's really good. We do have to play this now. Taking Croxa. Land in play. Kraken out. We don't want to draw because they'll take it, so we just scry 2.
Knowledge is a skeleton key.
Disruption can go. We need big boy counters now. And turn. And if this Kraken can pop off, we're gonna be okay. We have no hand, they have a full hand. We should be okay here thanks to our sideboard plays. Kraken takes care of the death touch with the 1/1s it creates. They need to destroy it immediately. Yeah, they do get it. Good on them. Take a draw. Just a land, which is nice. And our turn, we get Castle Vantress. Three cards in hand. Like I said in the first match, trying to grind that hand out. And now they're not replaying from the grave, thanks to our lantern. Now we just hope. We have 5 mana out, 6 in hand. We could grab our Shark Typhoon, that would be cool. I would take a Midnight Clock for a late game draw, maybe even at this point. We have a 3rd match to play after this as well. Jace takes 3. Doesn't double.
Don't be so friendly.
Scry 2. 2 Krakens. Wow. Very good. Whenever you draw a card, you may pay 1. It will kill our Jace though. I don't want to do that.
I love learning.
Neutralize can go on top. Land and play. The Ox of Agonis. Nice. What do they discard? 3. They give us a good game. That's interesting. They have Blood Chief's Thirst.
Solving mysteries is my specialty.
Land can go, Kraken can stay. Borrower can start doing the chip damage that we wanted. So there's a few ways that this can go. We have the cycle available through the Neutralize to push up the Kraken. We also have the draw through the Lantern. You know, that would cost 3 total plus 2 for 5, which we have. So we could go to a 5/6 on the Kraken with 2 additional plus 1/1 counters, or tokens, sorry, on the field. So there's that. We could also just counter. So they're taking it anyways. To counter gets us nowhere. It's just 1 for 1. They can't take the Kraken, so this way, our Kraken goes up, plus we make another tentacle. It's already on the stack. It's their turn, so we're not playing the creature. Now they get to see the Kraken. They can't take it. They could play the Titan. And that would be sad because we'd lose our Kraken, but we have a pretty good setup here. We can block and kill the Ogs. So that won't happen. It's an annoying card. Alright. I mean, there is some stuff in there, that's for sure. We do have our lantern up still. There shouldn't be any attacks. We should be safe. Our turn. We will make a tentacle. We will take a draw. Make another... Oh, we should have played this one first. Looking for a counterspell, really. I guess, primarily. I guess with all the land we could have. Whoops, missed out on a little bit there. Whatever. In the air for 3. Jace actually works pretty good with his Kraken. Alright. Sack and draw. It's good. Zombie back in play. More mills. They're up to 12. Tentacles save us. I think my cat had a bad dream. She just like shook herself awake. Oh. The mauling is annoying. Okay, I'm glad we have that second Kraken. Alright, we lose our attack from the Borrower. Okay, we still hold one Kraken. Our turn. A secondary lantern. Wow. Auto pay. Let's take the draw. Just a land, which is great. Means we don't lose loyalty. Nothing really even good in here to take. We hold the lantern. No, let's play it. Could be a creature or an enchantment. Take the creature. No attacks yet. Let's end our turn. They scry to the top, which isn't good. We're out of magic. The land for scry, that's fine. They already kept it to the top, so I don't expect that to change. Only one card left, right? We're grinding that hand down. It's taking a while, but we're getting there. I imagine just playing the giant at a certain point. We do have to play a third match after this one as well. So we're going into the sideboard again. Maybe pulling some negates to protect our lanterns. They are looking at our tentacles, which I find strange. Now looking at their library. Okay, just the giant. Yup. So we'll take our scry if they're not going to attack. Neutralize can stay, absolutely. Taking more tentacles. We will take 3 off Jace for the clock. We can pay for it here. Play our clock. That's a land we can utilize right out of the gate, which is really nice, and you know, let's just land in as well. No attacks. I think this is a good game. And turn. Clock will help us draw as things continue to go in length here. I'm feeling fairly confident. We do have 5 mana available for... Oh no. I want to keep Jace alive, so let's just take care of that giant. There's no Castle Vantress now. They remove our Kraken, I'm so sad. No, just a land. Woo! That was a close call. Our turn. Obviously paying for that. I don't want to lose Jace. 2 borrowers off the top, that's great. We would have lost it. We can dump our mana into the midnight clock as well. Ending our turn. Borrower can start with bouncing the 2/2. Then it can be cast and we can get in on that damage again in the air like we originally wanted to do. They have to kill the Kraken. And because we put the borrowers on top, if we take the draws, we're not getting it. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana available. We could scry 2 for 5, that leaves us 3. And we draw for 1, leaves us 2. Let's leave it. I don't think that it's there for us. We have plenty of blockers. That's an easy option for us. As soon as the Ox dies, we will exile the grave. No, we should be able to do this first, shouldn't we? Why can't we not exile that Ox? Dang it! Alright, we would have taken the Ox damage if we would have known. Or just done the grave first. Oh, that makes me upset. We were trying to do that on the stack the whole time. We could have done that ages ago. Man, that is actually upsetting. Let's just dump our mana into Midnight Clock in anger. That's my bad. We could have dealt with that ages ago. You guys in the comments are gonna love that one, eh? Now you know. Learning through my mistakes. I still think it's a very strong deck. And then they get a Woe Strider. This is disgusting. What a comeback from our opponent off of a simple misplay. We're so many counters away. Let's push Jace up to 4. Woe Strider in play really sucks for our Borrower. We know that there's a counter on top, so we could Lantern. Let's try to come full circle with this. If you believe, if you just believe. Alright, so here's our first Woe Scry. Our opponent's down to 28 cards as well. Grinding them down there. The only thing is we're running out of time. We only have 10 minutes on our timer. We're up to 8. Shuffle your hand and graveyard into your library, so we need that draw first. We've only seen the one Kroxa, so we know that there's 3 more hiding. So this Lantern's very important. That could come back to bite us, but we have to just play with what's happening now. Grabbing our Neutralize, keep Jace alive. We'll take the Strider out. We wanted to bounce that, but you know, the sacrifice effect happens immediately. It's good for them. They're really playing around us. they're milling again, which really sucks. Man. Let's take our draw. Interesting. I think the Shark Typhoon changes everything. Thank you so much for that amazing draw. They know it. And our turn. They are down to 9 minutes. We have 9 minutes as well. So things are very close. Yikes. Yikes, 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 yikes. We have to just obliterate them with sharks. Hey, it's a 2/2 shark, baby. We gotta go big with these sharks. We have lethal in just a few turns, potentially. So do they, though. We got chump block this Croxa. Should have waited till the end step. That's fine. I want to do it, but we should probably just play lots of sharks, right? We need 2 for petty theft, which leaves us 3. Lethal next turn. Whew. This has been quite the match. Oh, they gain life here. You dog. No, no zombies. We're okay. That Ox could be a zombie. Comes back from the grave, right? Looks pretty deadly. We lose our Essence Scatter. It is what it is. This is only our second match. Oh my lord. We have a ways to go here. I'm at 7 minutes, they're at about 8 minutes. Taking every second we can. Claim the firstborn, you dog. Playing Croxa in on us. I think I'm just gonna take the damage. We'll be okay. Taking a scry to end all this. think that mill helps them, right? They could replay their Kroxa. They don't have anything in the air though other than our own Shark that we get back. They should have played the Trident, or sorry, not the Trident, the Woe Strider, and sacked our own Shark on us. And I want this Charix to be like the last move here. All right, let's. The disruption can go. We can just double block the Ox. They have 5 mana available. I don't see that. I see 1. Right? Perfect. Okay. Cool beans. Now, how are we going to win this third and final match? Wow, what a game. We made a couple mistakes, but we were coming back. That Shark Typhoon saved us. Oh my god, did it ever save us. Ugin could be good, right? You've seen how much mana we crushed out. Let's toss the Charix. Easily removed. Harder to remove Ugin. We want to Frogify. Enchant creature loses all. I can't even read this. My god, let's go train. Loses all abilities and is a blue frog with base power, toughness of 1. That would work, but then they would just sack it and play it again later. Right? The Kraken would be really nice as well. You do have the Death Touch like we talked about though. They're going to be running more removal, so let's take the negates. As far as what we drop for the negates, I don't know, man. We could drop the ops. And just assume that it's going to be a longer paced game. Take some deep breaths and collect ourselves here. And this looks relatively good. We might need to cycle this. Hopefully they don't have a turn 2. No. That's really nice. We pull our second Typhoon. Can we get to 6? Maybe a bad counter there. It's really hard to say. We have a Neutralize up now. We're at 3. Really trying just to get to 6. We can double Typhoon. Oh, that would be good. And they're playing slow. We can disrupt this. Okay, it's dealt with. We need to get rid of it from the grave. We're at 4. We have 5 and 6 in hand, plus 1 more counter spell. All right. Deep breaths. We pull a land to discard. We are sitting on 5. We could potentially cycle for a 3/3 shark. They bricked. We know they've got no counters, right? They could have removal within red or enchantments. Maybe within black. They're oopsing us. I hope that's to signify their own mistake, not ours. Mirror Trident, that's good. That's so good. That's so good. I think we did it. I think we did it. Shark Typhoon, I love you. Sploosh. Double sploosh. That's so good. It's so good. I feel good about it. They village rights their death touch. For the big old draw, looking for land. They bricked. They've got enough engrave for Croxa. We just need to pull big old spells. The Petty Theft makes 2/2/2s. They need to remove the shark is what they're thinking. We discard the land. Take 3. Nice. We set our stop before their attack. Ending our turn. So not only do these borrowers make sharks, but they themselves come out as the flyers at flash speed. We have 7 mana, so you know, we can cast 2 Petty Thefts and 1 Borrower, which is 4 2/2s and a 3/1, and that should be lethal. We have to just do 1 Petty Theft and 1 Borrower here now to avoid this duress. There's nothing for us to Petty Theft, so it just has to come in as the flyer. And we miss out on 2 2/2 sharks. We can take our stop away because it didn't work out the way we thought it would. Our hand was forced a little early. Whew. Sitting on 13 damage on the board. We only have 3 minutes left to wrap up the match. It's a good thing it's gone so quickly on my end here. Playing the Firstborn. Can they sack it? I'll take the damage. Oh, no way. What? A double claim? No way. Plus a Blood Chief? They should have used the Blood Chief on the 6/6 once we got it back. Nice. No blocks. We need our creatures back to attack with. Ugin! We're gonna have to discard it from Croxa though. Down to 5, lethal next turn. Sitting on 7 land. If they have more claim the Firstborns, I might cry. cast 4 claims on us, just like that. Oh, that would be goofy. Is Village Right sack non-token? Where are you? No, just any creature. Whew. Our opponent's burning down their timer. They're at 2 minutes. We were at 3:15. You know, I'm not sure that I've actually won a game when it's come down to the timer yet. That'll be a first for me. They're at 145. Rankle in play. We can chump block it. Game. 4, we're out. Set the block. Make our shark, why not? Do it. Gotta do it for the Typhoons, baby. We're all in. That was the greatest match of Magic that I've played in a while. It took an hour. Woo! All right, you guys. How about that match? That's one of the most satisfying matches I've played in a while. A real nail biter, if you will. Mono Blue is something that I actually played a lot with. We had Duel of the Planeswalkers. I don't know what year it was, but I played Mono Blue in this Xbox game. Number 7, right? Just so satisfying to always have counter magic and flyers available at flash speed. It's so good. And I think a really easy way to catch your opponents off guard, especially when it's not being used a lot. This is a new deck within the meta. We've not seen it a bunch. It's not Dimir Rogues. And, you know, it slaps just as hard. So again, thanks for your time and attention. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend, hit that bell icon, and come do that again every single day for me. That'd be amazing. You can, you know, go above and beyond as well. Support financially on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, and our Amazon link. I really appreciate that, obviously. Take care, enjoy, and, you know, maybe go check out another video as well, okay?